Hello everybody, I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be starting a new series of episodes. I'll probably be releasing one every month to update you guys on my progress on this challenge. Now, as any gamer knows, we have tremendous backlogs of games. For most of us, I think it's fair to say. And this year is going to be the year when I finally try and tackle, or at least lessen, that burden of games that are in my backlog. Currently, I have those of you that have a backloggery, that is what I use to track my progress in my collection of games. Currently I have 445 games, of which 191 have not been beaten. Many of which probably haven't even been played, and I'm sad to say some of those games haven't even been opened. So I think that's completely ridiculous, unacceptable. There's no reason I should be buying more and more games when I have 191 that I haven't even beaten. Now, I know it's not always essential to beat your games, but, I mean, if you're not beating them, then, and you don't have any incentive to beat them, then I probably shouldn't even own it in the first place. So, my goal this year is to go into my backlog of games, and I would like to complete 30 games over this next 8-month period while I'm on this internship, because I won't be in school. I'll have plenty of free time on the weekends to try and tackle some of these games. And currently I'm taking part in the Pete's Game Room Forum Gentleman's Challenge, which basically has you partner up with one other person and they challenge you to complete a game. And, you know, the whole point of the challenge is to kind of give you a game that's epic in scale. So some giant JRPG that takes 40 plus hours to complete. And the game that I was given was a game that I'm really enjoying, that I'm actually already 50 hours in, and that is Tales of Vesperia. This is a wonderful, wonderful JRPG. I totally understand the praise that this game gets, and it is literally like playing an interactive anime. It really is. The cutscenes are just phenomenal. I mean, it really is as if I was watching an anime. And then what I love about this game so much, too, is just the character development, because there's so many instances in the game, like after a major cutscene or after a major turn of events in the game, they have like these little skits. So you press the select button, and you basically have the 4 faces or the 5 faces of characters that are going to be in this conversation, and they just sit there and they just talk and have this conversation based on the series of events or the circumstances that they're currently facing. It's really interesting, and you know, I've never really seen such a way of telling a story that the Tales of games do, and I really do enjoy how they do that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game unfolds. Like I said, I'm 50 hours in, so I'm really nearing the end, and I don't think I'll have a problem finishing this game before the Gentleman's Challenge is up, and that lasts until, I believe, the first week of March. So during that time, I think I have a few other games planned that I would like to complete within that small time frame, and then afterwards I have a pile of games I'm going to show you guys that I would like to complete throughout the remainder of this 8-month period. So I'm going to briefly talk about each of the games here, but you know, for the sake of time, I don't want to be here for, you know, I'd be here for forever and a day if I talked about each of these games in detail. So I'm just going to go ahead and show each of those games that I plan to complete. Call me crazy if you'd like, perhaps insane, but this is the year of the RPG. I'm going to focus on my backlog of RPGs. Now I'm going to mix it up because, you know, you need to. You know, you can't play one 70-hour RPG and then jump into another 60-hour RPG. I mean, some people can, but I can't. I need to break things up and, you know, turn off my brain sometimes and just run through a shooter in 5 hours. So I did include some action games in there and some shooters and just some games to really kind of just turn off my brain and just enjoy, you know, breaking up the monotony of the RPGs. So, but these are the, let's see, we have 4 games here that I'd like to also complete before that March deadline. And the first one here is Final Fantasy IX, my personal favorite Final Fantasy game, although I am ashamed to admit that I have not actually completed this. I made it to the 3rd disc last summer, and it was the first time I'd ever played the game, and I fell in love with the story and the characters, and the graphical presentation is just fantastic. It holds up so well today. But I never had a chance to beat it. I got to a point where I really needed to grind in order to progress, and I just didn't feel like doing that, so I put the game down, unfortunately. So, looking forward to going back and beating this. I'm not going to start a new file because I know exactly where I'm at, and I know exactly what I have to do. So, this shouldn't take me very long to complete because I'm already about 28 hours in, and it's only about a 35-hour game. So looking forward to completing that. Two games that are very similar, I think, in terms of control and also just, you know, kind of the theme of the game. The first one here being Dead Island. I'm really close to finishing this as well. I got this over Christmas. Best Buy had a deal for this, and it was like $7, so really excellent deal. Kind of clunky controls, reminds me a bit of Oblivion, and the way that you swing your weapons in this kind of first-person combat. But I do enjoy the game. I think it's really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to Riptide, the sequel that's coming out later this year. Although I do hope that, you know, for the sake of the game being the title Dead Island, it's kind of weird because I think I've spent like 60% of my time in a rundown city rather than the actual island that the game starts you off in, which is kind of weird and is also not something I really enjoyed. So I'm hoping that Riptide kind of really focuses in and sets you in that island setting and keeps you there for the remainder of the game instead of taking you off to these other random places. But still a really fun game. The next one we have Condemned 2 Bloodshot. This kind of mixes that, you know, melee combat with also some really nice crime scene investigation from what I played. I only played about 2 hours, but this is a very, very short game. I could probably complete this under 10 hours, so I don't think I'll have an issue beating that. And then a game that I'm really ashamed to admit that I really have not gotten into. I got to a point where I had this radiation issue where I was like literally moving at a snail's pace, and I was in the middle of nowhere. And I just didn't feel like taking the time to actually go somewhere and get the proper healing done. But that is Fallout 3. I know this game is so highly praised. Fallout New Vegas came shortly after. But I never really got into this game. And I really do want to because I love the setting and just, you know, the post-apocalyptic theme and just everything about this game screams something that I would like. But, you know, it was just that one circumstance that kind of turned me away from the game. So I need to start a new file and pick this game back up, and I have no doubt that I'm going to enjoy this one. So those are the games that I'm going to plan to complete and play through over this next month and a half period. And then after that, I have a pile of games here that I want to show you guys. And again, I'd like to complete about 30 games over this 8-month period. Call me crazy, but I'm taking on the challenge, and I hope and I think I can do it. So let's go ahead and see which other games I plan to play throughout this period. Alright guys, so those are just some of the games that I plan to play. I have many other games here that I want to at least pop in and maybe get some playing time. And of course, there are going to be, you know, a few games here and there that I'm going to pick up that are going to break my progress. You know, Fire Emblem Awakening, Luigi's Mansion 2, you know, the Monster Hunter game for the 3DS. You know, there are many, many games that I want to, you know, look into and pick up. And I will be doing a top 10 most anticipated games for 2013 very soon, so look forward to that. But, like I said, I want to buy much fewer games this year, and I want to focus on my backlog of games because I do have a tremendous number of games that I just haven't played that I really, really need to play. Because there's no point in buying more games to just put on the shelf when I could be saving money and just playing the games that I have. So that's my hope, that's my plan, that's my goal. Let me know if you guys would like to take on this type of challenge, or if maybe you have some sort of similar, New Year's gaming resolution? Let me know in the comment section below. Comments, video responses, you know, they're always welcome, they're always appreciated, and they're always encouraged. So, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. I have more videos coming soon.